Action.
Can I get the little clappy thing or something like that? Are we trying to sync sound? Chaka, help me out here. Everybody much rather listen to you.
Okay, so there's my Dremel, and
You're supposed to put the camera on Chaka when I'm doing her voice.
so this is my Dremel, and that's the wheel well. So what we're gonna do is see all this floor I'm walking on. We're gonna rip all that up.
You keep putting the camera on me. She's the one talking.
Chaka, what are you saying? Is he putting words in your mouth?
Chaka.
Is he putting words in your mouth? That's Lynn, I'm Allison, and this is why we have decided to take the walls off the Airstream in order to re-insulate. We're going to show you the insulation that we just came across right here. So you can see that. That's the little pink fuzzy stuff that's behind all these walls.
Basically, the way the trailer works is you have the bed of the trailer. Here's your wheels. Here's your tongue right there. That's all metal and steel. And there's these little ribs right there. There's flooring. The frame of your trailer acts as a subfloor. And then you have this aluminum shell. So it's like one big aluminum Twinkie. The inside of it, so that you have an exterior shell, and you have on the inside of it more aluminum cladding. That's your interior shell. So you have all these ribs that separate that interior. So if I were to look at it from the side, if we were in between that, you have these ribs, but you also have this fiberglass insulation, or this batting. Over here, like here's a good example of this insulation. This batting right here. So if you can imagine that in there. Part of the problem though with Airstreams that you'll see is, so here's my subframe and here's my floor right here. There's the subfloor. Is sometimes moisture will get in there and it'll collect on the inside and it'll come down into here, and while the aluminum won't rust, it'll corrode. And there's this thing called galvanic corrosion, which occurs when you have two different types of metal together, like aluminum and steel. So you'll see that happen right about here. But then you'll really see the water like collect inside the frame of the trailer, and you'll see where some of these little spans right here, if you go and look around and do your research on some other people who've restored Airstreams, you'll see where that's a problem. So because we want to redo the interior anyways, we want to take a really good look at this insulation, go ahead and redo some of the wiring in here, because we want to put a 12-volt solar system in, which it's already wired for that for the most part. We might as well go ahead and take a look at the insulation. The kind of insulation right now that we're looking at using is basically like an epoxy. It's a two-part insulation, spray foam insulation. There are two jugs, they look kind of like propane cylinders. You hook them up together and then you spray your insulation. It expands, so it'll foam out a little bit. We'll have to do some trimming, but it'll fill up this space really well. So what we're going for is a nice tight fit, right? And our hope is by making it as tight as possible and filling up that space, there's less likelihood for water to even get in to begin with, let alone get absorbed in there and cause us problems with mold and rust and corrosion and things like that. I'm looking at some other different types of sealing before putting the foam down, so it's just going to take a little bit more research on our part. It can be messy, but the nice thing about the spray foam insulation that I've seen compared to people who've used like already purchased like hard foam, kind of stuff that you would get, you know, it's got the aluminum kind of foil on it, is it looks like the spray foam's a lot easier to get in there. Some people will just spray some glue on the walls and they'll redo the batting, the fiberglass batting style insulation that you're used to seeing in the house, or what originally came with the Airstream. I think the spray foam is, personally, I think it's a little better. It's just going to take a little bit more work in some areas. We want to take this vinyl off the aluminum to get down to the aluminum, get rid of this 1990 style vinyl, take the aluminum cladding off, check the insulation, check all the wiring, probably put in another couple of receptacles, things that are more modern. So I've been looking for and finding they have the USB style receptacles. So instead of having the little dongle that you have to plug into the standard 110 outlet for your iPhone, you just plug in your USB cable, because our hope would be is to use more 12 volt system than a 110 volt system. We're going to have the ability with our Airstream, we're going to keep it to where we can hook it up to shore power, but we are going to also try to make use of solar power so we can boondoggle. But in order to do all of those things, we have to get under these walls.
So anyway, now that we have the microwave removed, I'm gonna go make dinner. So subscribe to the channel. See you at the dinner table. Bye.